Hey everybody, this is Cathy. Welcome back to my channel, Homespun by Cathy, where I build new and upcycle farmhouse furniture and decor. I've got some thrift flips for you this week. I recently cleaned up a little bit over in my hoard area, and I got rid of some things that I just don't think I want to mess with anymore. I really like woodworking, and I'm gonna just do more builds and upcycle wood items, but I do like the painted silver, so I'm probably still gonna do some of that. Once I got everything cleaned up and sorted out the things I didn't want to mess with, I really didn't have as much as I thought I did. And I came up with 3 items that I'm gonna flip in this video, so let's hit it.
Okay guys, this is what I came up with. This little glass owl, and then there was just a board that somebody had tried to make into something. I guess they hung photos or something on. It's about 2 feet long, so I had an idea right away about this. And then the first thing we're going to work on is this frame that has 3 little spaces for some art and some hooks. And I'm not changing the function of this. We're just going to upgrade it a little bit. So I got started on this one, just removing the hooks. They were really cheap and lightweight and had a seam in them. So I just took them out and threw them away. But of course I saved the screws because I can always use those again. I turned it over and started trying to get this paper off of here, and it was so thin and so much glue, I had to just cut through it into the backing and pull everything out. And the artwork was actually on a really thin piece of balsa wood. It wasn't cardboard or anything. And I just cleaned it up and gave it a good sanding. I had an idea I wanted to use that I had seen a couple people try on YouTube and different places where they are using hairspray to create a crackle in the paint. So years and years ago, I used to do a lot of decorative painting, and I had some crackle glaze, but I didn't use that. I wanted to try this hairspray. I wanted to use this really pretty ink blue, it's called, color, and because I actually have some ink to match it, and I'm going to stamp onto this canvas for the artwork. I just used a drop cloth from Harbor Freight. They have a little bit of a gray tone to them, so I like them, and I just cut it the length I needed for the 3 spots. And then I taped out a grain sack stripe. And then I just used a little bit of chalk paint, and I put a little bit of white paint in it to lighten it up. And I just kind of dry brushed it with a stencil brush to create it because I wanted it to just be kind of faint. And then I went ahead and stamped. I made some marks beside each little square so I would know where to stamp. But I wanted that sack stripe to kind of flow from one to the other, and that's why I went ahead and did that on the whole piece. That way it would be in the same spot in each square. So I got all 3 stamps done. These are some IOD stamps. See, it turned out really, really great. I was afraid it would bleed into the canvas, but it did not. So I went ahead and just finished that out while the frame dried, and then I just hot glued the canvas onto the little pieces of wood and just folded them over and glued them down, and it worked out really good. So I went out and put the hairspray on the board. Now, I'm going to tell you at this point, this did not work for me. And now that I'm watching this video back as well, I guess it's because I may have used spray paint. Maybe you were supposed to use latex or something on the base. I don't know. I didn't hear anybody really specify it, but I don't think anybody used spray paint. So that could be it. But I saw one person use it and use a heat gun on the top coat, and that made it crackle. And then someone else used acrylic craft paint. So that's what I used. I put a liberal amount on there. It was not old. None of this paint was old, and I don't know why it didn't work. I'm going to show you that there were a few spaces. I thought it was going to be working out really well, and it started to crackle in a few areas. So if it was the spray paint, I don't think it would have crackled at all. So I don't know what I did wrong. It didn't seem very difficult. You paint the base coat, you let it dry, then you spray on the hairspray, you let it dry, and then you put on the acrylic paint, and it's supposed to crackle. Didn't work for me. I may try it again. I don't know. But I went ahead and just distressed the heck out of it, and it actually turned out pretty good. And I glued in the little canvas squares, and I thought it turned out really cute. I had some little black hooks that I added, and they covered up the holes that were there from the previous hooks, so I didn't have to fill anything in. And even though I may try this technique on something else in the future, this project actually turned out really pretty just the way it is. Here is this owl, and check that price out, $29.99 at Kohl's. You gotta be kidding me, right? Anyway, it's cute and all, but I don't know about $30 cute. So I just cleaned it up with a baby wipe, and I did spray a coat of clear coat on it just to help the stickiness. And again, I'm still trying to get rid of all the old stuff I have. And so instead of chalk paint, which I did not have in black, I used chalkboard paint. I did a project years ago, and I still had the paint. It was in really good condition, so I put a thick coat of that on, and it only took one coat. And when that was dry, I used the white craft paint, and I just did a dry brush technique because I was out of wax. White wax would have been just as pretty, and you could have wiped a lot of that away. And when you dry brush, you do get a certain amount of residual color on your piece, and it's very difficult to wipe off. You just have to be really careful and just barely dab it in your paint, and then dab it onto a paper towel to get even more of the paint off the brush. And then just make sure you're going in the direction of the detail that you want to accent. So I just brushed from the bottom to the top, all on the feather parts, and more of it stayed under the feathers. And then it has some very faint gray hatch marks, on the rest of the piece. And I like that myself. And it turned out really cute. And I had in my mind this idea that this was kind of a boho look, maybe because of the colors. I don't know. But I did not realize how much detail this thing had until I did this. You really couldn't see it when it was just plain glass. So I wanted to add some sort of embellishment to it, and I wanted it to have a boho look, so I decided to do a jute twine tassel with some beads. I have made a tassel before. I didn't show it here, but if you go to my last video on the front porch makeover, you can see it there. I had to break down and buy some beads. I didn't have any, but these were a good size for this smaller tassel. And I really thought it would lend, again, kind of a boho look to this owl. I think he is so cute. the holes were a little small in the beads, and the twine does fray very easily. So I just used a piece of floral wire and hooked it around the twine and then just pulled it through all the beads. Very simple. And then I just tied it off, held it up to his ear to see how long I wanted it to be, and then tied the whole thing off. And it really turned out adorable. I love this little owl. Well, here we are with this craft board. It looks like they were trying to use it, for some photos or something. So I just get everything off of it. I'm going to save these cup hooks. They were not vinyl coated, which I don't like. They were actually white metal. And then I'm going to save those, and I'm going to save the hanger from the back. We're not going to reuse it on this piece, but I will reuse it on something else in the future. Always save all of your hardware. So I gave it a good sanding. It had a pretty dark stain on it, which I didn't mind, but it was a little bit shiny. So I just knocked that back and got some stain off in a few of the areas around the edges. And I used this little glass to give me a nice rounded template for the handle of the breadboard that we're going to make. And I just freehand the shoulder and the handle. And then I cut that out with my jigsaw, and then I'm going to turn that over onto the other side and use it as a template to draw out the handle and shoulder on the other side so they will match. This was a very narrow board, and I had a hard time holding it, so I had to rearrange a couple times and get a clamp in there. But we got it cut out, and I did not have to use my miter saw or my table saw, only this jigsaw. So if you find something like that, just a board that's been used as something before at Goodwill or a yard sale, you could do something like this. That's all you need is a jigsaw and a sander maybe. And there you go. I could leave it like this and just sand it down and put a hole in it and maybe a hanger, but I wanted to paint it. And I had an old latex sample of a vintage green color. So I put a little bit of baking soda in it. I was not going for the texture, but I felt like it would cut back on the brightness because it was a satin finish, not a matte. So I felt like this would help it cover since it was latex, and it will peel sometimes. I thought it would give it a matte look and also help it adhere more to the board. Then I had to go one further. I decided to put feet on it and turn it into a riser. So when I do that, these are cutoffs from spindles, and a lot of the time they are close to the same length. But if they aren't and they're off just a little bit, I prefer to just try to make them match more by sanding them. I don't want to stick my hand up under my miter saw blade with something 2 inches long, I did have to cut one of these a little bit, but I was able to get them pretty level with just the sander. So then I just glue them to the board first. I like to use Gorilla Glue, and that gives me just a second to place them exactly where I want them. And then I normally let that dry for about, if I don't have 24 hours, I give it a few hours and make sure it's really sturdy, because when I turn this over to put a nail in, I don't want them to move or wobble or anything. And, I'm sure they would be fine with the glue. It's me. I just don't trust the glue. I'm trying to sell these items. I don't want anything to happen. I want them to be very secure. So I always put a nail in them. These legs were pretty long, so that's why I turned it over and put the nail in from the top. I had 2-inch nails, but it would have only gone into the piece maybe an eighth to a quarter inch. So I did it from the top and made sure they were very secure. And then I went back and just put a little bit of wood putty in the holes, and they're so tiny, you can barely even see them. And I just dabbed a little bit of the green on over top of it, and you can't even see them. So then I started distressing. I will sometimes distress with a baby wipe on a glass or silver item, but I don't like to hand sand. I feel like I have more control with my sander with a 120 or 220 grit sandpaper. So it helps me hit all the edges and get in all the curves. So I wanted some of the dark brown as well as some of the raw wood to show. So once I got the raw wood to show, I did take some antiquing wax and I watered it down pretty good because I did not want to age the green color. I just wanted to tone down the raw wood a little bit. So I just did it on the edges where that was showing and wiped it back, and it worked out great. And these are the finished products for this video. What do you think? I like the fact that you can lean the breadboard as well as use it as a tray or riser. I thought they turned out really great. I'm happy with them all.